Once, upon a late-night bender, while I sat in drunken splendor, amongst the numerous empty bottles of the spirits that I poured. As I plotted, fine, I was napping, suddenly there came a tapping, like a sudden, irksome rapping at my workshop door. Damn, a visitor, I muttered, rapping at my workshop door. This it is, which I abhor. Usually I would be sober, being it was late October. Not much else rhymes with October, at least not words I've heard before. Desperate now for inspiration, I had made no new creation for the coming celebration of the season I adore, for that dark and glorious season based in Celtic days of yore. Such things I made, that was before. And the constant steady churning of the clock hands slowly turning chilled me, filled me with an anxious longing never felt before. But the liquor now was fading, its numbing magic dissipating, and I realized I had left them waiting. This rude visitor was waiting at my workshop door. This it was. Ugh, what a chore. It seemed my mind was now returning, and ready to deal out a hurting. Sir, I said, madam or neither, sure, forgiveness you implore. For the fact is I was napping, and so rudely you came tapping, inconsiderately rapping at my workshop door. Plus millennials rarely answer, here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. As I stood there contemplating, it felt as if my shop was waiting, longing, yearning to craft things no mortal dared to craft before. Suddenly, ideas were swarming, inspiration in me storming, as a project started forming, so I stepped in through the door. Quickly to my bench I ran, where I'd procrastinate no more. Here I'd craft, just like before. So with creative thoughts now perking, right away I started working. Cutting, gluing, painting, grinding, faster than I'd done before. It felt so good to have returned, the apathy in me unlearned, replaced with pride I'd rightly earned. Wait till they see upon the morrow this new work I have in store. Oh, to think of all the terrors, all the frights I have in store. Yes, they'll all scream, just like before. But before I would retire, I took a moment to admire my new work, a robot raven made from foam with cardboard core. But I could not anticipate that he'd begin to animate and almost seemed to contemplate flying to my workshop door. But there was no place to balance just above my workshop door, so he just sat, and nothing more. And though this was quite unexpected, with no pause I had elected to stay a moment just to see what else this bird might have in store. Though you have no voice box in you, is speaking something that you can do? I mean, you move, and I have no clue how that could be. I could have swore that not a motor lay within you. Yes, on this I could have swore. Quoth the raven, craft some more. I stood in shock upon my hearing of this phrase which left me peering at this dark and strange creation, this peculiar work I bore. And though his utterance was shocking, something in me started rocking, as ideas began unlocking, new ideas I could explore. Oh, the fear that I could bring to those who dared approach my door. And so I resolved to craft some more. So upon the bird's instruction, I began my next production, filling molds of bone-white plaster with some latex that I poured. And the raven sat there gazing, sure I thought he would start praising my rubber heart, which looked amazing, more than any done before. But he only sat there staring, just as he had done before. Then the bot said, craft some more. His response so apathetic and different to my dark aesthetic, but then to me a thought occurred, perhaps he had no taste for gore. So I chose with no objection to pursue a new direction, and soon I made a small collection of plastic ghosts invoking Halloweens of yore. Those wonderful spirit symbols of the Halloweens of yore. Quoth the raven, craft some more. Fine, I said, my patience thinning. It seemed with him there'd be no winning, but still I tried my best to conjure something, anything that he'd adore. So with enthusiasm fading, imagination dissipating, from our irksome conversating, that's not a word but people say it, it seems I hear it more and more. Yes, every day I hear it, far too frequent to ignore. Anyway, I pushed on to craft some more. Next for this evil emissary, I made a cardboard cemetery. 11 tombstones made by hand. The sight was too grand to ignore. There's not much more that I can make, and no more time for you to take. Surely now I've earned a break. Surely this will be enough. Now tell me, Raven, I implore. Tell me that we've done enough for the season that we both adore. Quoth the Raven, craft some more. Feeling bested by the bird when suddenly a thought occurred. Oh yes, a wonderful thought occurred. A thought I should have had before. A solution for my situation. A way to finish my creation. One last ounce of inspiration. Wasting no more time, I grabbed the bird and headed to my shop once more. Yes, oh yes, the two of us would go into my shop once more, where I'd be free, just like before. Once inside, I sat him down and then began to look around for a tank of gasoline to douse the desks and walls and floor. Raven, said I, this was fun, but now our time is clearly done. And as you see, I've all but won. So go now, fiend, go burn in hell and leave me as I was before. Leave me in the drunken bliss where I'll procrastinate once more. Quoth the Raven, craft some more. With no pause I set the blaze, but never did he break my gaze. No, he just sat amongst the flames, with the cold indifference that he wore, peering straight into my soul, satisfied now with the toll that he had took, but now control was in my hands, for I had won. Yes, I had won this mental war. Though shop was burned to ashes, I knew I'd won the war, because I'll never, ever craft some more.